were 70 captives, Asra, that the Muslims had after the end of Badr. Some of them were some of the big leaders, and some of them were the worst enemies of Islam. Before we answer that, I need to go to something that anyone who claimed anything about Islam or anything that happened at the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, we need to have one answer that will answer them all. You saying that this is wrong that the Muslims are doing at the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, compared to what? They come to you and talk to you as if Islam was invented in Midtown Manhattan and we're doing things different than people in Uptown. No, Islam was a religion that was given to mankind, last guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the middle of 7th century. If you see something and it looks odd to you, then you need to tell me it looks odd compared to what was really happening in the entire world in the middle of 7th century, in the middle of 8th century, in the middle of 10th century. But don't tell me how come they doing that and there were no subways at the time. That doesn't make sense. So what they said, look at the issue of the captives of Badr. I go directly before that and ask, well, what used to happen to the captives in any war at the time? What would happen if the people of Quraysh had 70 captives of the Muslims, had Quraysh won the battle, or the Romans, or the Persians, or the Chinese, or anyone else? The norm is, they will be all killed. Muslims do not kill children, Muslims do not kill women or old people, do not even engage them in battle. Muslims fight only soldiers who are carrying arms to fight. This rule does not apply to anyone else, they kill everyone. And if you are lucky and you're a powerful person or you have some ability and the leaders of the victorious army see that, they say, you know what, we will capture you and take you and sell you as a slave and take the money. As a matter of fact, it's well known in a very famous reference called The History of the World, I think in page 2435 or 45, that actually speaks about one of the Roman leaders. So he had captives, and he said, I'll take these captives, take them to the market, and sell them and make some money. When he was driving with them, he discovered, I have to feed them. And they're slowing me down because they're weak and some of them are injured. Why bother? He slaughtered them all like they were animals and continued back to his land. That was the norm at the time. So what are they saying about the captives of Badr, the 70 captives of Badr? They're saying how dare the Muslims look at the Prophet who claims he's a Prophet of God, and actually 2 of the 70 captives were executed. Compared to what? 2 out of 70? And that's a problem to you? SubhanAllah, there are militaries in the world right now, they just go chase someone. And if he gets into a building that is full with people, wallahi, they would destroy the entire building and call everyone a militia or a militant. And kill them all, and that's a casualty for today in 2014. SubhanAllah, is that fair? No. But then more. Look at the 2 people that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ ordered to be executed. Before anything happened, there was a famous debate between Prophet Muhammad ﷺ listening to Abu Bakr and Umar, خاصة Rasulullah. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said about Umar and Abu Bakr, والله لو اجتمعتما على مشورة ما خالفتكم. He trusted their opinion and their iman so much that if he was consulting him about a matter to be consulted, not a matter, an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a matter to be consulted, and both of them agree on something, Prophet Muhammad would agree with them. The problem is, Abu Bakr was saying something totally different from Umar, and both of them were correct. Abu Bakr was saying, let's take an expiation, let's take a ransom or a fidya from the people to release him back to Quraysh. And this would give us a position of power, but at the same time, we would appeal to the tribes of these people that we were not that harsh with them, so it's easier for us to invite them for Islam later on. That was basically the purpose of the decision of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Umar ibn Khattab was strong. He said, these people are the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They persecuted and killed us, They were in battle trying to annihilate and destroy us, so we go ahead and kill them. And that's the norm at the time. Umar was not taking an extreme or violent opinion. That was the norm at the time. Guess which opinion that Prophet Muhammad would choose? Prophet Muhammad, and take this as a rule, if there's multiple options for Prophet Muhammad, and any one of them is halal and acceptable, just a matter of choice, you turn around, you don't even have to listen to Prophet Muhammad's decision. He would choose the most merciful option of all of them. So what was the merciful option? The merciful option is to let him live. So even for the 68 that they released, and they're supposed to release with ransom, high ransoms, it was not the same. Some they took 4,000 dirhams for. Some people they took 4,000. Some people took 100 uqiyah, and some they took 40. And then some who said that we cannot afford it. So what did Prophet Muhammad do? Look at the civility and the civilization and the mercy of Prophet Muhammad in the middle of 7th century. He said, I will let you go. I will not take any penny from you. And he did not accept Islam. That man did not force them to be Muslims and then release them. No, you keep your religion, you are pagan, you are kafir. With the risk of him turning around in the next battle, carrying a sword and coming back to fight the Muslims. If you would teach 10 of the people of Medina, of the Muslims, how to read and write. You teach 10 people how to read and write, I'll let you go. Look at the value of education. Look at the value of knowledge in the middle of 7th century. Mind you, from the 7th century till the 12th century, Christians in Europe were not allowed to have a copy of the Bible. If you are found with a copy of the Bible, you'd be arrested. Only the high priest can read it for you and tell you what it means, whether you know how to read or write or not. In the middle of 7th century, Prophet Muhammad would release a kafir that can come back and kill Muslims if he would teach 10 Muslims how to read and write. Is that enough? Look at the mercy of Islam. And I would read it, inshallah, as it is. This is a note. Yes. One man of Quraysh, his name is Amr ibn Abdullah ibn Umayr al-Jabhi. That man did not know how to read or write himself and had no money. So that's the worst situation he could possibly in. But the man as a kafir knew the mercy of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did he say to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O Muhammad, li khamsu banat laysa lahunna shay. I have 5 daughters that have nothing. So if he gets killed or does not get back to them, they would starve. Look at this, the intelligence of the man knowing whom we're talking to. فَتَصَدَّقْ بِي عَلَيْهِنَّ يَا Muhammad. So give me back to them as a charity from you upon them. What would Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Wallahi, he released it to him. تصدق بكافر على كفار, and that kafir was just fighting him. Look at the mercy of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Would the enemies of Islam or Islamophobia mention that mercy to the Western readers? No. What they focus on after all these 68 people, the 2 people that they were executed. Why were they executed?